Imagine this. It's late at night. You're finally drifting into what feels like a deep sleep. But what you don't know is that the way you've been sleeping, the hours you've been keeping, or even the sounds you make while asleep could be silently pushing your brain toward disaster. For thousands of seniors, the stroke that steals their independence doesn't begin with pain during the day. It begins in the stillness of the night. A top neurologist specializing in stroke prevention warns, the way you sleep after age 60 can decide whether you wake up tomorrow healthy or never wake up at all. Shocking? Yes, but the science is real. Studies show that poor sleep habits, whether it's chronic insomnia, restless nights, or the dangerous condition of sleep apnea, dramatically raise the risk of a stroke. Even just a few nights of bad sleep can raise blood pressure, trigger dangerous blood clots, and set the stage for what doctors call a silent killer. Think about it. How often have you brushed off poor sleep as just getting older? How many times have you or someone you know said, "I can live with less sleep. It's no big deal"? The truth is, ignoring these patterns could be one of the deadliest mistakes seniors make. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain. We'll reveal the hidden sleep habits that secretly increase stroke risk after 60, the ones most seniors dismiss, but doctors know are lethal. And most importantly, you'll learn how to protect yourself before it's too late. So dim the lights, settle in, and stay with us until the end. Because the next few minutes may change the way you think about your sleep and might even save your life. The science behind sleep and stroke. Doctors often call sleep the brain's nightly reset. During healthy, uninterrupted sleep, your blood pressure naturally dips, your heart rate slows, and your brain clears out toxic waste that builds up during the day. But when sleep is broken, shallow, or too short, that reset doesn't happen, and the damage begins to build. Here's what the research shows. High blood pressure at night. If you don't sleep deeply, your blood vessels never get the chance to relax. That constant strain makes arteries stiff, raising the chance of rupture or blockage, the two main triggers of stroke. Blood clot formation. Poor sleep increases stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, this creates a sticky environment in your blood, where tiny clots are more likely to form and travel to the brain. Irregular heart rhythm. Seniors who suffer from sleep apnea or chronic insomnia often experience irregular heartbeats at night, especially atrial fibrillation, a condition directly linked to stroke. Inflammation in the brain. Without proper sleep cycles, inflammation markers skyrocket. Doctors warn that this silent inflammation narrows blood vessels in the brain, creating the perfect conditions for a stroke. One neurologist described it this way: "It's like leaving a pressure cooker on overnight. You don't see the damage right away until it suddenly explodes." And here's the most chilling part. Many seniors don't realize it's happening. They don't feel pain. They may simply think, "I just didn't sleep well last night." But inside their body, the seeds of a life-altering stroke are being planted. Every year, thousands of seniors wake up not to their morning coffee, but to the frightening reality of a paralyzed arm, slurred speech, or worse, because their sleep betrayed them. This is why doctors insist sleep is not a luxury after 60, it's survival. The dangerous sleep habits doctors warn about. Now that we understand the science, let's talk about the habits, the silent routines that millions of seniors fall into every night, not realizing they're setting themselves up for a stroke. Habit number 1, sleeping too little. Many seniors think, "I don't need as much sleep as I used to." Wrong. Research shows adults over 60 who sleep less than 6 hours a night are at double the risk of stroke. Skipping sleep forces your heart and brain to work overtime, leaving your blood pressure dangerously high. Habit number 2, sleeping too much. On the flip side, regularly sleeping more than 9 hours a night can be just as dangerous. Doctors find that oversleeping is often linked with poor circulation, hidden heart problems, and, most importantly, higher chances of stroke. Too little or too much sleep both signal that something in the body is breaking down. Habit number 3, ignoring loud snoring. Many people laugh off snoring, but in seniors, heavy, disruptive snoring is often a red flag for sleep apnea, a condition where breathing actually stops dozens of times each night. Every pause deprives the brain of oxygen, creating tiny, silent injuries that add up to a massive stroke risk. Habit number 4, sleeping in the wrong position. Doctors warn that constantly sleeping on your back, especially if you snore, makes sleep apnea worse. Meanwhile, curling up too tightly can restrict breathing and circulation. It seems simple, but even your sleep position can change the way your brain receives oxygen at night. Habit number 5. Midnight wake-ups you ignore. Do you wake up suddenly with a racing heart, gasping for air, or feeling numbness in a hand or leg? Too many seniors brush this off as just getting older, but neurologists say these nighttime events can actually be mini-strokes, tiny warnings that a bigger, life-threatening one is on the way. One doctor put it bluntly: your brain sends whispers before it screams. Ignoring those whispers in your sleep could be fatal. So the question is, are you unknowingly practicing any of these habits tonight? Because recognizing them early could mean the difference between waking up healthy or not waking up at all. A real-life warning story. Margaret was 67, a grandmother who everyone described as strong and full of life. She took daily walks, loved cooking for her family, and rarely missed a community gathering. On the surface, she seemed perfectly healthy. But at night, there was one thing her family always noticed: the loud snoring that rattled through the house. They laughed about it, calling it harmless. Margaret believed the same. One night, she jolted awake, gasping for air, her chest tight, her head pounding. She sat up on the edge of the bed, convinced it was only a bad dream. By morning, she felt unusually heavy, her words a little slurred, but she ignored it. Hours later, she collapsed on her kitchen floor. Doctors confirmed what no one expected. She had suffered a stroke in her sleep, triggered by untreated sleep apnea. Her neurologist explained that each night her brain had been quietly suffocating. The pauses in her breathing, ignored for years, had left tiny scars on her blood vessels until one day, a critical vessel closed off completely. Margaret survived, but her speech and mobility were never the same again. The truth is chilling. For many seniors, the bedroom becomes the most dangerous place in the house. Stroke doesn't always strike during activity or stress. Sometimes it arrives silently, while you are asleep, stealing your independence before you even know it. The hidden nighttime warnings. Doctors say the body often whispers before it screams. When it comes to strokes, those whispers frequently appear at night, hidden in the moments most seniors ignore. One of the earliest signs is sudden midnight wake-ups. Many seniors describe jerking awake with a racing heart, a strange buzzing in the head, or an arm that feels unusually heavy. They roll over, shake it off, and go back to sleep. But neurologists warn these episodes can be transient ischemic attacks, often called mini-strokes, where blood flow to the brain is briefly cut off. Another overlooked clue is unexplained morning headaches. If you regularly wake up with a pounding head, especially one that eases as the day goes on, it may mean your brain isn't getting enough oxygen during sleep. Sleep apnea, poor circulation, and even tiny nighttime clots can all create this pattern. Restless sleep without reason is another red flag. Tossing and turning might seem harmless, but if you wake drenched in sweat, feeling disoriented, or unable to recall parts of the night, your brain may have been fighting through brief, undetected oxygen drops. Doctors also warn about numbness that vanishes by morning. Seniors sometimes notice a hand or foot that tingles or feels weak at night, then returns to normal after a few hours. These temporary lapses are not simply poor circulation. They can be the brain's warning that a full stroke is approaching. Perhaps the most chilling signal is sleep paralysis combined with confusion upon waking. If you open your eyes but cannot move your body for a few moments, then wake later feeling foggy or unable to speak clearly, that can indicate the brain's motor pathways are under siege. What makes these warnings so dangerous is how easily they can be brushed aside. Seniors tell themselves it's just age or just a bad night. But doctors emphasize that these are not random quirks. They are urgent messages from the brain, often days or weeks before a catastrophic stroke. One neurologist explained, "The body sends gentle knocks before the door is kicked in. Ignore the knocks, and you may not survive what comes next." So if you or someone you love notices these patterns, take them seriously. Because in the quiet hours of the night, your brain may be begging for help. What doctors recommend to protect your sleep and brain? The good news is that stroke risk linked to sleep is not a death sentence. Doctors emphasize that simple, consistent changes in nightly habits can dramatically lower your chances of ever facing that frightening reality. First, Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. Seniors often believe they can get by with less, but neurologists warn that the brain desperately needs this window to repair itself. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day creates a rhythm that protects both the heart and the brain. Second, screen for sleep apnea. If you snore loudly, wake up choking, or feel unrefreshed even after a full night's rest, speak to a doctor. Sleep studies are painless and can reveal whether your oxygen levels dip dangerously at night. For those diagnosed, treatments like CPAP machines or lifestyle adjustments can slash stroke risk dramatically. Third, create a stroke-safe bedroom. Avoid heavy late-night meals that spike blood pressure while you sleep. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet, giving your body the best environment to reset. Even small details, such as sleeping on your side rather than flat on your back, can improve airflow and reduce nighttime strain on the brain. Fourth, watch for hidden warning signs. If you wake up with unexplained headaches, numbness, or slurred speech, don't ignore it. Doctors stress that calling for help immediately, even if symptoms fade, can mean the difference between recovery and lifelong disability. Many strokes are often the final alarm before a major stroke. Finally, live the prevention lifestyle. Maintain a healthy weight, stay physically active, control blood pressure, and avoid smoking or excessive drinking. These habits, combined with good sleep, form the strongest defense against strokes. Dr. Elizabeth Carter, a stroke specialist, puts it simply: sleep is not a luxury. For seniors, sleep is medicine. The way you treat your sleep is the way you treat your brain. Remember, prevention is powerful. A single choice, turning off the TV earlier, skipping that late cup of coffee, or checking in with your doctor about snoring, may one day save your life. Think about this. Every night, millions of seniors go to bed believing tomorrow will look like today. But for far too many, tomorrow never comes the same way. A stroke strikes while they are asleep, leaving them unable to speak, to walk, or to recognize the faces of those they love. The danger isn't just in the hospital rooms you see on the news. It's in the ordinary bedrooms of people who thought snoring was harmless, who brushed off headaches, who convinced themselves that poor sleep was simply part of getting older. The tragedy is that many of these strokes were preventable, if only the warnings had been taken seriously. Doctors agree on this one truth: your sleep is a mirror of your brain's health. Every restless night, every ignored symptom, is your body quietly sounding the alarm. And every step you take to protect your sleep, every healthy habit, every checkup, every choice to treat sleep as medicine, is a shield against disaster. So tonight, when you lie down, don't think of sleep as wasted hours. Think of it as your most powerful weapon against stroke. Listen to your body, respect its signals, and take action when something feels wrong. Share this knowledge with your family, because awareness can save not just your life, but theirs as well. If this video has opened your eyes, remember, you're not powerless. You can change the way you sleep, you can lower your risk, and you can wake up to many more healthy tomorrows. Take this seriously. Start tonight, because the brain you protect may be your own.